Jeff, it is. She comes up with the steal and the pass.
Watching Bill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram High School Hoops, presented by New South Window Solutions.
Welcome to the Tank at Gulf Breeze High School tonight. A district matchup, a district Class 5A matchup between the Pine Forest Eagles and the Gulf Breeze Dolphins on Hill Kelly High School Hoops. Hi, everyone. Dan Shugart along with Jeff Price. Delighted to be here this evening on what could be maybe a bit of a strange night and what has been a strange year already. Pine Forest comes into this game with a 10-5 record. They are 4-2 in district play. Gulf Breeze 6-5. They too are 4-2 in district play, but there the similarities end. Pine Forest, very deep team, and Gulf Breeze, a young team, not particularly deep, and they are dealing with tons of issues. 5 players are out tonight in this COVID season, and they brought up a couple of players from JV just to fill out the roster. But we have some of the great individual performers. First of all, for Gulf Breeze, they're led by Reese Bloomberg, averages 16 points a game, the junior guard. Terrific shooter, terrific scorer, and man, the load is on him tonight, Jeff.
Yeah, he scored 18 in the loss last time these two teams played in Pensacola. Look, it's all hands on deck. I mean, you talked about it before. They were going to have their best effort tonight, even more so now. Hey, even JV guys may have to have a big effort.
And with Gulf Breeze, they have been a better basketball team when they're moving. The ball's moving, players are moving offensively, and they're mixing it up and balancing the scoring, even though Bloomberg's their leading scorer. And they may not have that luxury tonight, and against a pressure defense from Pine Forest could be really a problem.
Yeah, interested to see how Pine Forest, they're probably going to bracket him. Obviously, you take away their best shooter. Where are they going to find the offense? I mean, there's going to have to be a whole lot more guys step up and make some plays tonight.
All right, Pine Forest very deep. They go 10 deep easily. 14 on the roster, everybody could play. Marion Turner, where's number 1, is really terrific.
Yeah, the 6'5 junior. Expect a lot out of him tonight. He'll probably have a big night tonight. But it's not just him. It's not a one-trick pony when you look at these guys. You've got Ozell Purifoy, Kachaz Alford. This offense can strike very quick. They can play great defense. And like you said, they're very, very deep, so look out.
Pine Forest 10-5. Their 5 losses, all of them have come against Choctaw and Pensacola High, the 2 best teams by acclamation in Northwest Florida. So Gulf Breeze looking for a monumental effort tonight against Pine Forest. Pine Forest and Gulf Breeze from the Tank at Gulf Breeze. Tip-off coming right up. And we're ready to get underway here at Gulf Breeze. Pine Forest and Gulf Breeze. Starting lineup for the Pine Forest Eagles: Jalen Wilson, a point guard; Kachaz Alfred, Ozell Purifoy in the backcourt; Marion Turner, we talked about in the pregame; and Nigel McCracken. Pine Forest in the blue with the red trim has the ball first, misses the shot, but they will retain possession for the homestanding Gulf Breeze Dolphins. They have 6 varsity players suited up tonight with the 5 scratches. They brought 2 players up from the JV. We'll get that starting lineup for you next available moment. Zone for Gulf Breeze. Pine Forest misses another outside shot. That was Wilson. And out of bounds on the sideline, and it will stay at that end of the court with Pine Forest. John Cabasa gets the start tonight at point guard, wearing number 2. Chase Mancino, Max Schneider not available. Weston Smith, Reese Bloomberg, number 33. The shooter on the wing, Dominic Jackson down low, along with Nick Deemer. Runner over and followed up and in by Nigel McCracken. And Pine Forest gets 3 cracks at it, and McCracken gets the first basket of the game. Then here's the full court pressure, and going to the line, 3-point opportunity for Pine Forest. That's Ozell Purifoy. So one of the great concerns for Gulf Breeze was turnovers. It is under the best of circumstances against Pine Forest, who thrives on forcing turnovers and keying their offense through their defense, especially lately. And Purifoy, 3-point play, and that quickly. Haven't played a minute yet, and it's 5-0. Again, full court pressure and relentless full court pressure from Pine Forest. This is one of the things that Ty McCants, the Pine Forest coach, said turned this team around. They forced a second turnover.
Yeah, you see John Cabasa right there trying to force the issue. That's what pressure can do for you. And for Gulf Breeze, they're going to be facing that all night long, especially shorthanded. Coach Ty McCants. They already had a plan for them before they found out the shorthandedness, but boy, this is going to be a tough team to try to beat that press against.
Carson Hepworth is one of the 5 Gulf Breeze Dolphins not available starting guard, and really the guy who kind of sets the tone for them. And there's a long 3 on the way, off the mark and over the backboard. It comes down, stayed alive, and rebound pulled down by Dominic Jackson. Gulf Breeze into the front court now. That is Cabasa. High post, backdoor pass, and nice basket.
Great job by Bloomberg right there.
Deemer with a nice backdoor pass to Bloomberg, and that's what Gulf Breeze looks like at their best. Run the offense, sometimes even has a little Princeton look at it. A lot of backdoor passes along the baseline. You really have to pay attention on defense. And there's a reach-in foul, and I believe that will be Weston Smith. It is. Starting lineup for Gulf Breeze. Dominic Jackson down low, as we told you. He wears number 1. He has a huge responsibility holding his own against the bigs for Pine Forest. In the corner, 3-pointer. That's off the mark, but pounding the offensive boards. That was a Purifoy, and knocked it out of bounds. It'll stay with Pine Forest again. Down low, McCracken has it knocked loose nicely by Deemer, and finally the rebound comes off to Jackson. Ahead, gets it back to Jackson, gets it back. Nice pass to the corner. Bloomberg's open for the 3. So Bloomberg hits the 3. That's a great sign for Gulf Breeze.
As the Pensacola State College 3-point shot, thanks to Mr. Bloomberg right there.
And he ties the game at 5. 2.5 minutes into it. Foul again, and boy, this could be a huge factor. Gulf Breeze only has 8 players. And that's 2 fouls now in the early going. Number 30, Weston Smith, who is really an aggressive defender, but it's cost him here in the early going. I mean, we're 2.5 minutes into the game, and he's got 2 fouls, and he's going to have to come out. Slashing in Purifoy. Boy, some contact, no foul called, and here comes the Dolphins the other way. Weston Smith gets it down the lane, scooped up and in. That's Cabasa. And so 7 straight points for Gulf Breeze after surrendering the first 5. And here's a nice scoop, wild scoop, rebound, offensive board. Purifoy had it knocked loose, lost it on the way up. Gulf Breeze wants to run, and they convert.
Weston Smith.
Weston Smith, he knows he's coming out. He's got a couple of, been involved in a couple of baskets since. 9 straight points now for Gulf Breeze.
All started with a Nick Deemer steal right there.
Purifoy pulls up. That's a nice shot for him, but he can't get it to go. Rebound pulled off, and over the back. Is it, or are they going to keep it here? They will. Foul is on Nick Deemer on the rebound, and coming to the lineup is Preston Harvey, wearing number 12 for Gulf Breeze, a 6'2 junior, and he gives Weston Smith a rest. Deemer picks up his first foul. Rebound no good. Free throw no good, and rebound comes off.
Boy, Gulf Breeze battling. They got a 9-5 lead. Every second is precious with these guys, especially being so short-handed. So far, so good, though.
Well, they want to keep the pace offensively. There's a foul going for the loose ball. That's going to be called on Purifoy as he shoved Preston Harvey out of the way. So Purifoy picks up the foul.
Yeah, you talked about it. This, being shorthanded doesn't help anybody. But if anything, you look at the positive for Gulf Breeze. They just got to slow it down, played their game, which is what's got them 9 points so far.
Well, they're not going to slow it down offensively. It's really interesting. Ryan Ottenmeyer said, we want to force the tempo offensively, but then on the defensive end, we want to slow Pine Forest down. It's kind of a hard thing to do. You don't see a lot of teams do that. And there's the foul on the pass, and I believe that will be on Whitehurst, 21. It is. Josh Whitehurst Ty McCants. And we're going to take a timeout. Next dead ball if we can. 3:40 to go. We're sailing along. Turnover, and at the other end, Pine Forest saves it. Nice effort to get there by Patterson. And so we'll see if we can take a... Yeah, we'll take a next dead ball, maybe. 3:31 to play, first quarter, and the Dolphins have scored 9 straight to take a 9-5 lead. And we will take a timeout on Hill Kelly High School Hoops from Gulf Breeze.
Watching Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram High School Hoops, presented by New South Window Solutions.
Well, there you go. There's our Wibb Stone Barnett fan cam here at the tank at Gulf Breeze High School. Gulf Breeze, of course, a 9-5 lead right here over Pine Forest. Yeah, just not a whole lot of emotion right here. Even those Gulf Breeze fans understand they're a little short-handed. But, hey, they got a 9-5 lead so far, so you can't be upset.
No. It's Bloomberg out front. He would rather not be handling the ball out there, but... Boy, that pressure defense by Pine Forest. And again, they'll shuttle people in. That's Patterson, number 30, Jamal Patterson, one of the really 4 point guards they have. And the trap and a foul called. And that's, I'm sure, going to go on Deshaun Palmore, number 23. It is.
It is. Well, you can be a little more aggressive when you go 10 deep as well.
That's Jackson. Bloomberg took a look. Jackson now. And he'll lean in and score.
Great
That's
job.
Dominic Jackson, who's really been good for Gulf Breeze inside. 11 straight points for the Dolphins. They lead by 6 with under 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter. That's Patterson for 3, and the rebound batted out of bounds. It'll belong to the Dolphins. So Gulf Breeze hanging in here early. They knocked the ball right out of the gym. Had to go find it. 34, Nick Deemer against that full court pressure. And there's a lean in and a foul on 25, Nathan Kinsella. You're going to commit a lot of fouls when you play pressure defense, full court man-to-man defense. You're going to get a few more, but I think Ty McCants may be a little concerned with how many they're committing. And boy, 8 rows up goes Kinsella after deflecting the ball out of bounds.
They just don't go away.
Pine Forest has played much better in January, much more consistently in January than they did before the Christmas break. Long 3 by Bloomberg, and might have forced that one a little bit. Kinsella had the ball knocked loose. And battling on the boards with Jackson out of bounds. It will stay with Gulf Breeze. Mark Humphreys, our referee right there. He's one of the best around. Tony Lofton and Troy Robinson rounding out our officiating crew from the Miracle Strip Officials Association. Fall away 3 in and out as Bloomberg almost came up with it and came up with a 3, and a jump ball alternate possession will stay with Gulf Breeze.
You see Bloomberg trying to get a couple shots and get hot.
Quan Calvert, number 0, checks in for Pine Forest. 3-pointer, that's off the mark. High off the glass, battling for the boards, Dolphins, and they keep it alive. Long 3 by Cabasa, that is short. Loose ball, this is what Gulf Breeze does. They're gonna have to do that. And
wow.
Ball finally stripped loose by Pine Forest, and that's gonna be a foul on Gulf Breeze, I believe, on 12. It is. That foul is on Preston Harvey. Boy, a lot of
the effort.
Yeah, well, and that's going to be it for both teams, from both teams tonight. That's, as I was talking earlier, McCann said that when they turned things around in January, it was that commitment to defense. He spends half of his practice time now on their man-to-man defense and their pressure defense, full court pressure. And he said, you know, how you practice, whatever you commit in practice is what you're going to get on the court from high school players, and that's a travel before the shot and block. And so they were really committed. So you're going to get this kind of effort from Pine Forest. Plus, they're going 10 or 12 deep. So, man, you give me 4 hard minutes, and we'll get you out and get you a rest. And the next guy's turn.
Well, we get to see the freshman Maury Smith called up from JV here, number 20, checking in.
Coast to coast, can't get it to go. Rebound to Quan Calvert and throws it away to Reese Bloomberg. Getting back defensively, looking for Palmore. Nice screen. Dumps it off to Deemer, and he'll go to the line as he draws the foul. And the foul is on Quan Calvert.
See our Peden instant replay right there.
11-5 Gulf Breeze here after Pine Forest scored the first 5 points of the game in the first minute. And Gulf Breeze, and this is one of the great mysteries for Gulf Breeze. They are not a particularly good free throw shooting team, and it's a team that lives on the three-point line. And Ryan Ottensmeyer, the coach, said, I don't get it. We shoot it in practice, we hit 80-90% in practice, come out in the game, and, well, you saw it.
There you go.
Nice scoop. Oh, what a shot.
Wow.
Terrific shot by
Kenny Cotton.
Who's not an offensive force normally, but that was a heck of a shot. Bloomberg off the mark. Outlet pass, and Palmore's out ahead of the pack. So just like that, a couple of baskets for Pine Forest. 2-point game in the final minute. 49 seconds to play in the quarter. That ball knocked out, and that'll stay with Gulf Breeze. The entire Pine Forest bench right there saying, pointing one direction, and the one man who counted pointed in Gulf Breeze direction. Bloomberg flips it into the freshman, Maurice Smith. Three-pointer is good. Preston Harvey, he can hit some threes. Yeah, he can get hot. He hits that one.
Yeah,
and they needed a basket there after the quick 4-point run by Gulf Breeze, by Pine Forest. Palmore for 3. That's short. Rebound comes off to Jackson with 15 seconds to go against pressure. Bloomberg's looking and gets it back. Good look at that shot off the line. Smith throws it away. Freshman in his first varsity action, but man, how'd you like to be at lunch as a freshman? Say, by the way, suit up. We've played one quarter at Gulf Breeze on Hill Kelly High School Hoops. The Gulf Breeze Dolphins lead Pine Forest by 5.
You're watching Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram High School Hoops, presented by New South Window Solutions.
Well, the Gulf Breeze Dolphins on their home court have held their own in the first quarter, playing a bit shorthanded tonight. 5 players out of the lineup in this COVID season. And a couple of players brought up from the JV. One of whom you see right there, number 20, at the top of that zone. A freshman getting his first varsity action. He didn't know he was going to be suiting up until lunchtime today. Rebound after the miss, pulled off by Deemer. Nick Deemer, and here comes Gulf Breeze the other way. So baseline and a traveling violation on the baseline. That was Harvey. Preston Harvey, number 12. Shuffle the feet as he got the move to the baseline going.
We'll see Weston Smith check in for Maurice Smith.
Picked up the 2 fouls early, did Weston Smith. Saving it right at the backcourt line with Purifoy. Drive. Nope, that's no contact. Man still on the floor, and Gulf Breeze coming the other way. Blocked out of bounds. It'll stay with Gulf Breeze. Boy, Cotton, a bit sore as he hit the floor hard on the block shot. They said all ball. And he comes out.
Jalen Wilson will check back in.
Jalen Wilson is back in, wearing number 20. Inbound Gulf Breeze. That's Dominic Jackson missing, and here comes Wilson.
Good move.
And he draws the foul from I believe that'll be Harvey. If so, that's his second.
It is. See the instant replay. Pete heating and air conditioning right there.
So he'll go to the free throw line. It's the first free throw.
Pensacola Energy free throw. There we go.
Pine Forest 2 for 2 from the line here in the early going, and they're within 4. The first minute of the second quarter. Housekeeping there. You see 24, Nigel McCracken tucking in the shirt. Jalen Wilson, maybe he's been their most consistent and solid point guard, and hits the 2 free throws to make it a 3-point game. Gulf Breeze lead down to 3. Robert Ward is up off the Pine Forest bench. Deflected, but still recovered by Gulf Breeze. And there's Harvey for 3. In and out, followed by Jackson, doesn't go. And in there is Bloomberg, and he'll go to the line. Right, check that, Harvey. He'll go to the line. And the foul is on Marion Turner.
Yeah, Bloomberg getting an open 3. You don't miss those too often.
Well, it's, you know, he's been a hot shooter first part of the year, but they can, you know, he can go through some shooting slumps. He had a rough night against South Walton when they did basically what Pine Forest is trying to do, kind of deny him the ball where he wants it. Although he's had some good looks. He hit a couple of early shots, including a 3, and hadn't hit one since. 1 out of 2 from the line. And it's a 4-point Gulf Breeze lead. Turner, offensive foul, taking the charge.
Check the instant replay right there.
Yeah, it's Deemer, Nick Deemer taking the charge, and Turner called for his second foul. So Turner has 2 to go with 2 from Whitehurst. Gulf Breeze running it. Harvey thinking about it. So too is Smith, Weston Smith. Barely held on to it. Jackson. Good ball movement. 3-pointers on the way. That's good.
Hey. Nick Deemer.
Nick Deemer hits the 3.
It's our Pensacola State College 3-point shot. Great job, Mr. Deemer.
7-point Gulf Breeze lead. Biggest lead of the night.
Here we go.
Turnover. Laying it up and in. That's Smith. Weston Smith. Robert Ward. His pump fake. There goes McCracken. And loses it out of bounds. It'll go to Gulf Breeze. 5:24 to play second quarter. Gulf Breeze with a 20-11 lead. This is a 20-6 run since the first minute of the game. Pine Forest scored 5 points in the first 65 seconds of this game. And Gulf Breeze on a 20-6 run since then. Foul in the backcourt on Ward. Ryan Ottensmeyer, the head coach at Gulf Breeze in his 4th season. You know, they have a great situation at Gulf Breeze. Basically, the youth leagues here. These kids played together since they were in youth league here, doing a lot of the same kinds of things, running the same kinds of offenses they'll run here. Cabasa, one more free throw. Hits them both.
Yeah, it just makes it that much easier when you get to the show here at high school. Whether it's football, baseball, basketball, you do a great job here in Gulf Breeze.
So now Pine Forest down 11 and throws it away. Turner throws it over Ward's head. And now they set up the full court pressure. Down 11 is Pine Forest. That's Harvey. And weave and Cabasa. Kabasa getting the start tonight with all the players out of the lineup. Ottensmeyer said he was confident that Kabasa could handle the defensive pressure that he would face. Dolphins turn it over, and Ward dribbles it off his foot and out of bounds with 4:41 to play in the half. Into the lineup now, back into the lineup for Pine Forest in the backcourt. Josh Whitehurst with 2 fouls, the sophomore, number 21. They have a couple, Whitehurst and 30, Patterson. If they need offense, and he certainly needs offense, Ty McCann said that's who's going in, Whitehurst and or Patterson. And he's got Whitehurst in there now. Bloomberg guarded tightly by Purifoy. Purifoy did a nice job and then comes up with a steal. He earned that one twice. So Purifoy with a steal and converts at the other end. Big basket for Pine Forest.
Purifoy's got 5 so far.
Gulf Breeze turns it over nearly 20 times a game. And Ryan Ottensmeyer says, yeah, I know that's an issue, but they play at such a pace. He said, we know there are going to be some turnovers. But you can almost figure Pine Forest forces a lot of turnovers. You turn it over a lot. That may be a real problem tonight. And Pine Forest is going to go to the line after the foul on Harvey, I believe. It is. Harvey picks up the foul, and that is 3 on him. And he walks in the free throw, does Ozell Purifoy, the sophomore guard.
Deemer and the freshman Smith check in. See Harvey and Bloomberg check out.
Final 4 minutes here of the second quarter. It's Bloomberg on the bench, and the freshman's in the lineup. Powellmore comes up with a rebound, blocked nicely, and Kabasa's injured, and he's just walking to the bench. Rebound pulled off by Jackson, and a timeout on the floor taken by Gulf Breeze. Injury timeout, and we will take a timeout as well. So 3:42 to play in the first half, second quarter, and Gulf Breeze with a 22-14 lead on Pine Forest here on Hill Kelly High School Hoops.
You're watching Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram High School Hoops, presented by New South Window Solutions.
Whipstone and Barnett, attorneys at law, sponsors of our fan cam. We are used to seeing large, packed-in, frantic crowds here at Gulf Breeze, but obviously this is not your normal year. And so the attendance a bit thin by design. But they're enthusiastic here at Gulf Breeze. There's Maurice Smith, 20 in the lineup, along with 32 now in the lineup. That's Daniel Salogi, the sophomore. So 32 and 2 in the lineup for Gulf Breeze, and they turn it over to Jackson, and laying it up and in for Pine Forest is Josh Whitehurst.
It's his first points of the night.
So after that timeout, the 2 JV players are in, 32 and 20. See how they handle it, how they can handle the pressure. Foul on the sideline, a shoving foul. And that's going to be Whitehurst guilty of the foul, and that's 3 on him. Now, depth is not an issue for Pine Forest, but you don't want to lose a point guard with the talent of Josh Whitehurst, number 21. He's going to come out and be replaced by Kenny Cotton. Going to the line is Daniel Salogi. He was the leading scorer on the JV team right there. 12 a game for the JV, but making his varsity debut. And
there you go.
Yeah, man, sometimes you just deserve a break with a bounce off the back iron. His first varsity point. You can't get two of them. The second one you got to earn. 3:08 to go. First half. Gulf Breeze up by 7 now. And led by as many as 11. In the lane, that is the ball knocked away and stolen nicely by Smith. Weston Smith. You know, his older brother, Bryson, similar player. And Ryan Ottensmeyer said, yeah, Weston's going to remind you of his big brother Bryson, who's just tough, hard-nosed, always going after either the steal or just playing tough defense. And he's come up with that here. Weston Smith to the line and misses. The first of two.
That's 3 on Marion Turner, by the way. We'll see him check out. We'll see when Nigel McCracken check in for the Eagles.
So Turner with 3, Whitehurst with 3. Weston Smith gets 1 out of 2 from the line. 24-16, 8-point Gulf Breeze lead. They got the sophomore there on defense at the top, and Maurice Smith, the freshman, 20 at the top of that zone. Kenny Cotton goes to the line. He got banged by, and that might be, it's 20. They give it to Maurice Smith. Boy, I thought that was going to be called on 30, Weston Smith. Instead, it's the 20 of Maurice Smith. If it had been Weston Smith, that would have been 3. Cotton off the mark with the first free throw. One out of 2 from the line for Kenny Cotton.
Wow. Got a foul on the sophomore Slogy right there.
All right, so the free throw counts, and they're going right back to the line. And Ryan Ottensmeyer, without really moving, said, what did he do? And he said, shoved him in the back. So Cotton back to the line. He should be dialed in.
Yeah, there you go.
He's got one more, right? He should have one more, yeah. Nick, shoot him till they throw you off the line. Bloomberg's in the lineup again. And out, and he's in there replacing Daniel Sologi. So Bloomberg for the last 242. And now Cotton, who's hit 2 in a row from the line. Got 2 out of 4. So after all that, it turns into a 2-point trip. High post, Jackson, good passer from there. Or take it in the lane. Rebound pulled off by McCracken. Here comes Pine Forest running. Deemer takes the charge. He got set up and drew the charge from Palmore. Got there just in time, and the heating air replay, he's there and established. Good call, and Palmore picks up the foul. That's number 2 on him. Full court pressure again. Smith, Weston Smith. Pass deflected, went off Gulf Breeze, out of bounds, off Jackson's hand. It was deflected by, I believe, that was Wilson who got a hand on it first.
That is correct.
So 6-point game as we approach the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. Pine Forest a chance to get closer than they've been in a while.
Uh-oh.
But stolen instead by Bloomberg. Can't get it to go. Tipped up and in. Maurice Smith will get credit for the tip. And Gulf Breeze, boy, some nights when you just need something good to happen, you get some breaks, and that certainly was one. Down the lane, that's Purifoy. Before the shot, he was fouled by Smith.
That'll be Smith's second tonight, young freshman. I like Smith. It's a good-looking freshman for him.
Well, you know, and Ryan Ottensmeyer was saying, you know, the 2 guys who are from JV are people who, you know, these are 2 years from now, they'll be heart and souls of the program. But this is a tough debut.
Yes.
It's, you know, just to be called up on varsity on not even a day's notice is tough. When you're playing a team the caliber and the style of Pine Forest, that really is a tall order. Pine Forest misses 2 free throws. McCracken goes over the back rebounding. So Pine Forest comes up empty and picks up another foul on McCracken. Actually, I believe that's his first. 1:48 to play, 8-point lead. Gulf Breeze might be in protection mode here, just trying to get to the locker room with as much of this lead as they can.
Hey, it's going to be some big free throws for him right here at the end of the half.
Pine Forest has missed 5 of their last 7 free throws. Deemer at the line. He's been a pretty good free throw shooter, 9 for 11. As soon as I say that, he's been a good on a team that has kind of struggled from the line at 64%. He was 9 for 11 from the line coming into this game.
Wow.
Oh, man, misses them both. And going to the line, almost for a 3-point opportunity, but going to the line to And that is a
Smith
foul on
again.
Smith. He's picking up fouls in a hurry. That's 3.
Boy, that was interesting foul right there. Thought Smith may have got out of the way, but they called it on him. Pensacola Energy free throw right here.
Deshaun Palmore. Yeah, 1:44 to play. Remember, Gulf Breeze had the 8-point lead with 2 minutes to go and a number of trips to the line since then in just 16 seconds. Each team go to the line.
Preston Harvey check back in.
Hits them both. Palmore's a streaky shooter, and if Ty McCants is looking for somebody to catch fire offensively as this game goes, he might be one of the guys if he can get going early here. Or get going in the first half, I should say. Bloomberg, that ball stolen. That is Wilson. Followed by Cotton. And it's a 4-point game. And that is Smith, and he'll go to the line. 1:19 to play. And that foul is on McCracken, so he picks up a couple of them quickly here. And now Smith to the line. 76% free throw shooter is Smith. And gets the roll on both of them. Weston Smith has done a lot of good things offensively lately for Gulf Breeze. In the last 3 games, scored 18, 14, and 14, well above his average of 10. But as we mentioned in the pregame, Reese Bloomberg has not had some of his better offensive nights lately, and Smith's been the guy who's really picked it up. Smith again. He'll take it. Bloomberg. And rebound and Pine Forest off and running. Palmore. And rebound comes off to Bloomberg. 3-on-2. Nice dish. Jackson. Rebound on the floor.
Great job.
And Deemer scores on the look from Bloomberg. Big basket for Gulf Breeze with 35 to go.
Yeah, Bloomberg, great points right there for Bloomberg.
Final 30 seconds of the half, and a fast-paced and surprising first half. That Palmore it was, 23. He might be the guy they look to offensively here. We'll see. Jackson.
Wow.
Boy, another foul on McCracken. He's picked up 3 in a hurry late in the second quarter. And with 10 seconds to go, going to the line is Dominic Jackson. He's shot more free throws than any other Dolphin, but he's a 55% free throw shooter on the year. And you really need better than that. He's an inside player. He's going to pound the boards. He's going to get to the line. Lane violation. So he hits the free throw and it won't count. So it's a 6-point lead. Gulf Breeze with a 6-point lead. Pine Forest with a chance to get within 4 at the half. Or 3 if they can hit a 3. Wilson. It's going to be an alternate possession, I believe. That should. Rather, it's. It goes to Gulf Breeze.
1.8 left. Got to get it off.
He did. Well, that's a heck of a first half of basketball.
Yes, it is.
We came into this game wondering if Gulf Breeze could just hang with Pine Forest with a short roster. And not only hang, they lead by 6, leading by as many as 11 in the first half. And Pine Forest, in the early going, probably felt like, hey, we didn't get any calls go our way. We didn't get any breaks go our way. They fell behind by as many as 11, and they go to the locker room down by 6. Pensacola State College halftime report coming up. Halftime here at Gulf Breeze. The Dolphins lead Pine Forest Eagles 30-24 on Hill Kelly High School Hoops.
watching Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram High School Hoops, presented by New South Window Solutions.
Welcome to the Pensacola State College halftime report from Gulf Breeze, where the Gulf Breeze Dolphins lead Pine Forest 30-24 in what has to be considered a surprising first half. Gulf Breeze, as we mentioned, came into this game with 6 varsity players suited up. They had to call up a couple of guys from the JV. They both played big minutes and played pretty well. And so an 8-man roster against a very deep and talented Pine Forest team that applies the defensive pressure. Pine Forest scored the first 5 points of the game. Gulf Breeze scored the next 11. And Pine Forest has been swimming upstream since then. So Gulf Breeze with the 6-point lead at the half. Brings us to our community spotlight, brought to you by Northwest Florida State College. First trip I've made to Gulf Breeze since the bridge was out, and it took a long time, and I was struck by driving into Gulf Breeze, Jeff, and how quiet it is on the main drag, Gulf Breeze Parkway by the school, and we know a lot of businesses over on this side of the bay. Really been feeling the pinch, not only in this bizarre year, but with the bridge knocking it out as well. So we're glad to be over here and patronize some of the businesses here in southern Santa Rosa County.
Yeah, it's my second time. With Friday Night Rivals, we had a ball game here at the beginning of the year against Milton High School. So that drive does not get any better. Second time around, it's not as anymore near as fun. But hey, you know what? It's unfortunate, but hey, we appreciate all the businesses over there. If you get a chance to come over here, definitely check out the businesses. Support small business anyway. Yeah,
exactly. The hometown businesses on either side of the soon-to-be bridge again. It's obviously they're grateful for your support, your patronage, and they do so much for our communities, and they are the lifeblood for sure. We also are happy to present our A-plus athlete. Here we go from Wibstone Barnett, attorneys at law. Eris Graber, a girls weightlifter from here at Gulf Breeze. I asked Matt Alt, the athletic director at Gulf Breeze, what's her GPA? He goes way over 4.0, 4 plus and then some. Excellent student, terrific young lady, and she wants to be a chemical engineer, and she will attend Vanderbilt to do that. Pretty good place to do that. She is our A-plus athlete, brought to you by Wibstone Barnett. Halftime here, the Pensacola State College halftime report from Gulf Breeze. Dolphins lead it by 6 at the half on Hill Kelly High School Hoops.
You're watching Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram High School Hoops, presented by New South Window Solutions.
Halftime here at Gulf Breeze. The Dolphins lead the Pine Forest Eagles 30-24. We'll be back with more on the Pensacola State College halftime report.
You're watching Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram High School Hoops, presented by New South Window Solutions.
Pine Forest led by as many as 5. Gulf Breeze led by as many as 11. It's a 6-point Gulf Breeze lead at the half. Back with the second half on Hill Kelly High School Hoops from Gulf Breeze.
You're watching Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram High School Hoops, presented by New South Window Solutions.
All right, teams are on the floor, or in the gym, I should say, making their way, and we're ready to start the second half here from Gulf Breeze. And I really would have been interested to hear what Ty McCann said to his team, as Gulf Breeze has really gutted this thing out for the first 16 minutes of the game, and now Pine Forest, after trailing by 11 in the first half, down by 6 as we start the second half. In Pine Forest, the Eagles start the second half with the ball. And go to Purifoy. Tipped up. McCracken, it comes off to Smith, to Bloomberg. And he'll go to the line to shoot 2. Not sure, I don't know why he did the little crossover. I just, he has size. He's 6'3", 6'4", and might have made that a tougher shot than he needed to. Bloomberg at the free throw line, as good a shooter as he is, 57% from the line. 57.
That is crazy.
That's his 8th point, though. Got them both.
That'll help the old average.
Yeah, it will. 9 points now for Bloomberg, and the lead is back up to 8 for Gulf Breeze. Good ball movement inside. Out of bounds, off Gulf Breeze on the blocked shot. Calvert put it up, had it blocked back at him.
Great job by Deemer with the block right there.
Ward in the ball game to start the second half for Pine Forest. He inbounds it back to, and a foul.
Uh-oh. That is not good.
That is.
Weston Smith.
That's Weston Smith's 4th personal foul, and boy, that's a horrible way to get it. Or was that 3?
That's his 3rd right there.
That is his 3rd. It's still a horrible way to get it.
Especially when you're shorthanded.
Gulf Breeze staying in the zone, as you would figure. And there's Purefoy loses the handle, but Ward picks it up and scores. Boy, big basket for Ward. Robert Ward in the right place at the right time and converts. Here comes that pressure, and Deemer brings it across. Jackson. Deemer hands it to Bloomberg. He likes that runner, but can't get it to go. He has not had a great offensive night. He's got 9, and they'll tie it up, and that'll stay with Gulf Breeze. Quan Calvert, number 0 there, tying it up with Harvey, number 12. Nick Deemer will key it in. On the way, somebody might have gotten a hand on that. And on the 3rd try, Gulf Breeze scores.
Dominic Jackson. Right place, right time right there.
34-26. That 3's off the mark. Rebound come out. Gulf Breeze does a great job getting people to the ball. Coming up with loose balls. Great pass. Blocked nicely, brilliantly by Calvert. Here comes Pine Forest. Wilson scores. Boy, Calvert with a huge block at one end, and Jalen Wilson converts, and now Gulf Breeze trying to run. Bloomberg doesn't get the roll. Rebound. Loose ball comes off. Harvey inside. Jackson puts it up, blocked, and taken away nicely by Turner. Marion Turner got the block shot and came up with it. And that's going to the line there will be Calvert, Quan Calvert, as he draws the foul in a 6-point game. That's on Harvey.
It'll be his 4th.
So Maurice Smith up off the Gulf Breeze bench. The freshman will check in. Harvey will check out. Free throw short by Calvert.
Well, Smith back in there for some big minutes. Young freshman.
Pine Forest is now 8 for 14 from the free throw line tonight. Nice job blocking out and getting the rebound. Nice Deemer, and then throws it away. Looking for Smith. And so, you know, you're going to have turnovers when you play up tempo, and you're gonna live with some, and you can live with some, but that's a hard one to take. All right, Pine Forest once again a chance to pull within 4 with a basket. That's Jalen Wilson out front. Gets it to Turner. Rebound pulled off by Bloomberg. Smith goes backdoor, cut off nicely. Good job defensively. And a timeout. It's a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here. So, Gulf Breeze. I'm not sure what Ryan Ottensmeyer saw, but he doesn't have much to talk about because it's a 30-second timeout.
I think he thought maybe his guy was fixing to get trapped or pushed out of bounds right there, so maybe save that possession and call a timeout. See Coach Ottensmeyer right there.
Yeah. Terrific program, and this was a year, you know, they had Reese Bloomberg back, Carson Hepworth, who's not available tonight. Those two guys coming back were really the linchpins of this team coming in this year. They lost 9 seniors from last year's team, 50 points a game on a team that averaged 58, all graduating. And, you know, they returned 60 of 600 rebounds from last year. So they have a lot of people had to step up. And they've done a heck of a job, and that foul's on Purefoy. Purefoy's second foul. And going to the free throw line is Dominic Jackson. Gulf Breeze now 9 for 19 from the line tonight. And they lead by 6. They had no chance.
Not a good trip.
No. Ward, he can shoot it. Banging the boards, but Maurice Smith comes down with it. And there's Smith, blocked from behind, I believe, by Turner. And Pine Forest will go to the line on the fast break as Purifoy draws the foul from Deemer.
That'll be Deemer's second.
Second foul on Deemer. And the third team foul on Gulf Breeze. Into the free throw line goes Purifoy. He hits it. I'd love to tell you what these guys shoot normally in Pine Forest, but their stats were few and far between. By that I mean they were unavailable. 1 out of 2. He was a 50% shooter on that trip. And Jackson comes down with the rebound. It's a 5-point game. Bloomberg goes baseline. And Jackson,
Great
nice
job.
pass to Jackson. That's what they do when they're playing their best. They are an unselfish team. That's just the way it's been with this group all along, every year. Guys really enjoy their teammates' success. Now Bloomberg out front. So just like that, Gulf Breeze responds with a couple of baskets, and the lead's back up to 9.
Well, if you're Pine Forest, you can't press. You can score in a hurry, so you just got to continue to do and play your game right here.
Down to Turner, who's been very quiet tonight. And rebound comes off and pulled off. And Maurice Smith comes out of it with a loose ball and deflected by Purifoy out of bounds. So we'll take a timeout here. 3:58 to play here in the third quarter. Timeout on the floor. And Gulf Breeze leads by 9 on Hill Kelly High School Hoops.
You're watching Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram High School Hoops, presented by New South Window Solutions.
Fans gathered here at Gulf Breeze on the Whipstone Barnett fan cam. Taking in the ball game and delighted with what they have seen so far, the home fans from their home-standing Dolphins, who play so much better at home than they do on the road. They're 4-1 on the home court, 6-5 overall. And there goes Smith, Weston Smith, off balance and got it to go. Tough shot. That's a big basket coming out of the timeout, and the lead back up to 11, matching Gulf Breeze's biggest lead. Palmore out front. Pine Forest they really need to see something from Turner. He's not in right now, and there's a steal by the freshman, Maurice Smith.
Go young freshman right there.
Gulf Breeze has its biggest lead of the night. It's 13. It comes with 3:20 to play in the third quarter.
There's things like that a freshman makes a basket. Boy, you bet he's coming into his own right now.
Palmore draws the foul and might have drawn the foul on Smith. It is on Smith. So that's number 4 on him. So Maurice Smith makes a big play, then commits the 4th foul.
Well,
what valuable minutes for a kid from JV comes up, a freshman, gets to play in this kind of a varsity game. What an experience this is for him. Deshaun Palmore flips it out. And there's a three-pointer on the way from Whitehurst. And Smith gets the rebound. Whitehurst almost beat him to the ball. Bloomberg. 3. Bottom that one out.
14 for Bloomberg.
45-29. And Pine Forest needs the timeout, and they will take it. 45-29, 2:46 to play here in the third. We've already taken our timeout, so we will keep it here. And you have Bloomberg with 14 now, right? Yeah, this is It's a big night for him, and we thought he needed a huge night, but he really didn't have it in the first half, but it let everybody else get into it.
Yeah, and look what they've done around him. Everybody else is contributing now. Everybody's settled in, and Bloomberg's starting to get hot. Boy, oh boy, look out.
And they have had other players stepping up lately. Bloomberg scored 13 against Murphy last time out, and Gulf Breeze won that one 67-56. That was last Friday. But that night, Dominic Jackson had 17, Weston Smith had 18, and Max Schneid, who found out today he was not going to be able to play, had 13 that day. So on a night when Bloomberg was scoring about 5 or 6 below his season average. And the game before that, when Bloomberg struggled with 8 points against South Walton, Weston Smith had 14 that night. In fact, Smith has 14, 14, and 18 in his last 3 games. So other people have stepped up, and that's something this team's probably going to be better served in the long run when you find other people who can do it.
Yeah, and you wonder for Pine Forest if they're going to start pressing. I mean, they have not gotten the shots to fall. And I tell you what, we got 2:46 left in the third, and that fourth period comes around. We'll see what happens.
Well, the one thing is playing pressure defense is what they do, so they don't have to step out of character. Shot misses, Palmore follows it up and in. That was a big basket by Palmore there. They needed something that trip.
Palmore's got 8.
And
there you
Gulf
go.
Breeze turns it over. And again, Gulf Breeze wants to play at the fast pace, but Pine Forest might turn up that pace a little more than you really want or are comfortable with. So Pine Forest down 14 now, and Gulf Breeze back in the zone they've been in all night. The scoring guards are, well, one scoring guard there, Patterson, number 30. Wilson, not a shooter, but he's a facilitator. Shot is blocked, and it'll go to Gulf Breeze. The block shot by Deemer went off Palmore, I believe. Here comes the block shot. Perfect block shot and went off Palmore. Good call. Great play by Nick Deemer. Bloomberg bringing it up. Into the corner. Smith, Weston Smith needs a bounce. Rebound pulled down by Calvert. Wilson into Calvert. Boy, they can't get it. It's a snake bit night for Pine Forest, and that's a tie-up. It is indeed. So alternate possession, and it will stay with Pine Forest. It's Patterson.
Ooh, it's not good.
They're looking for somebody who in the backcourt can score some points, and Patterson is one of them. So
looks like it's his knee as well.
Oh, man. Jamal Patterson, junior. Ty McCants and Jamal Patterson gets a hand from the Gulf Breeze crowd here. And hopefully that's not too bad an injury.
No. Cannot put any weight on that.
So the Andrews Institute trainer here on site will tend to him. And inbound is Wilson. That's Whitehurst for 3. That's off the mark. He's the other shooter in the backcourt, the other shooting point guard, applying the pressure. But again, Gulf Breeze breaks the pressure with Smith. Out of control. Did he draw a foul or did he charge?
Drew the foul.
He drew the foul on Quan Calvert. Boy, he was hard to draw a charge when you turn your back to him offensively, but Calvert was not in position. So, and boy, I tell you,
I think Calvert was surprised he was coming in.
Yeah, Smith heard the whistle, though, and he realized he had kind of just sort of gone in backwards, and that would have been number 5 on him, the call gone the other way. 1:24 to play. Smith did not get the roll.
Well, McCracken will check in for Calvert.
Calvert comes to the bench, and Ty McCann said, just hands over your head, just go straight up. 1 out of 2 for Maurice Smith. 1:21 to play, third quarter. Gulf Breeze by 15. There's Whitehurst for 3. That's off the mark again. Well, if they're going to try to get in it by hitting threes, somebody better get hot in a hurry because you can shoot yourself out of it just that quickly. That Jackson inside, that's his move. Jackson inside builds the lead to 17. That is Gulf Breeze' biggest lead, 48-31 in the final minute of the third quarter. This is a stunner. Palmore backs up. Palmore to Whitehurst. Palmore and Whitehurst, both good shooters, but they turn it over as Bloomberg got a hand on it, and now going all the way and laying it up and in is Jackson.
Well, Jackson's got 8 this period.
Palmore can't get it to go. Strong rebound. I tell you what, they are rebounding with Pine Forest. A little runner. I'm not sure they needed that. With 13 seconds to go, and a jump ball, and it'll stay with Gulf Breeze. So Gulf Breeze should be able to get the final shot of the third quarter, and they lead by 19.
If you're just checking in, remember, Gulf Breeze is without 5 varsity guys tonight. My goodness. Playing shorthanded, had to call a couple JV players up, and boy, I tell you what, Maurice Smith, Daniel Salogi been playing some good minutes.
Here's Smith inside, almost loses the handle, does lose the handle. 10 seconds to go. Pine Forest now can score. Blocked nicely by that. Bloomberg getting back. It wasn't deep, but then he loses it. And won't get the shot away. And actually, that's no fouls, and nobody scores in the final 10 seconds. After all that action, it's probably a win for the Dolphins because they'll take a 19-point lead into the fourth quarter. 50-31, Gulf Breeze over Pine Forest on Hill Kelly High School Hoops.
You're watching Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram High School Hoops, presented by New South Window Solutions.
All right, that's a Gulf Breeze crowd, and they look a little stunned at what they have seen. A tremendous performance by Gulf Breeze. This Gulf Breeze team has certainly been more effective on their home court this year than they've been on the road. But they average 71 points a game at home, 54 on the road. They're really making the most of the home court tonight with a 19-point lead going into the fourth quarter. Pine Forest really needs some offense in a hurry. There's a three-pointer on the way. Does not get the bounce, and Gulf Breeze and traveling. Jackson pulled down the rebound and traveled. Dominic Jackson. Ryan Ottensmeyer said one thing we'll be able to do, even with all of Pine Forest's athleticism, he said we'll be able to rebound with them. They have done more than that. They have done a great job on their defensive boards. Inbound pass deflected out of bounds. There's Reese Bloomberg, 33.
Yeah, Bloomberg's got 14 tonight for the Dolphins.
Well, who's going to get things going offensively for Pine Forest here? And I would say probably you better do it in the first 4 minutes. Kenny Cotton, that's not who you would expect. Rebound pulled off, and offensive rebound, and can't convert. That is the kind of night it has been for Pine Forest. Wow. And a foul call. That was Kinsella inside, and I can't believe that stayed out.
Kinsella's second tonight.
And he picked up the foul out of frustration as much as anything. So if you're Gulf Breeze, you like to play up-tempo offensively, even in the half court. Almost stepping in the backcourt was Smith, but didn't do it. And Maurice Smith and throwing it away. Deemer was cutting along the baseline thinking Smith was going to swing the ball the other side, and Smith threw it where he was. So
interested to see if Gulf Breeze slows it down a little bit more.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. I mean, you want to play up-tempo, and that's what you've done, but Pine Forest will force you to do it. You know they're going to play that kind of defense to try to force the issue. But do you feel comfortable running your offense, slowing it down? And there's a foul and a three-point opportunity for Marion Turner. And are we going to hear something out of him? His first bucket of the night.
Foul be on Dominic Jackson. Be his first. Yeah, Marion Turner, my goodness. He was one of the players I talked about in the Open.
Well, he's had 3 double-doubles in a row for Pine Forest coming into this game tonight. Turner has. He had 19 and 10 against Choctaw, 14 and 11 against Niceville, and 12 and 12 against Escambia. And he gets the three-point play here, a minute in, and breaking the press, Gulf Breeze. Jackson Can't get it to go. Chases down the rebound and a tie-up. I thought first we're going to get a foul called. And instead, getting tied up. And the ball will stay with Gulf Breeze. Gulf Breeze. You know, if you're Gulf Breeze and you can spend a good quality 30 seconds per possession, yeah, that's almost enough. Three-pointer from Smith. And now they'll put some defensive pressure in the backcourt. Now leaves a 3-on-1 the other way if they can get it in the front court. Swinging it to Wilson. He'll penetrate and kick. And Kinsella can't get it to go. Turner on the boards. To Kinsella. Tipped again. Turner scores.
There you go.
Marion Turner has the first 5 points of the fourth quarter. It's a 14-point game, another turnover. Kinsella draws the foul, and he'll go to the line. We've played 2 minutes, and Gulf Breeze may need a timeout. Kinsella.
Be on Bloomberg.
Yep. Nice job by Kinsella forcing the contact. It's going to be a 30-second timeout, so we will keep it here as Pine Forest will go to the free throw line after the timeout. But they did what they had to do. They did two things they had to do. One was get the first 5 points of the fourth quarter to cut it to 14, and they got Marion Turner involved. It's upcoming. It's our first of 2 games this week. We've got a beauty coming up on Friday. Pace 10-2, and the Patriots ranked 9th in the state in Class 6A. They host Navarre, who is much improved this year as well. Terry Posey, coach at Navarre. Houston Ramsey taking over this year at Pace and really has the Patriots playing well. So we'll be at Pace Friday night, 7:30. And then our final game of the year next Tuesday, Washington at Catholic, to round out our Hill Kelly High School hoops schedule this year.
Yeah, being able to follow Pace the past few years, they've had some young teams. They had some great talent. Now those young cats are starting to become juniors and seniors, and that's where the 10-2 record comes in.
All right, 2-shot foul for Nathan Kinsella, the junior. So 2 minutes into the fourth quarter, the Eagles have cut the 19-point lead to 13. So if you take 6 minutes, 6 points off every 2 minutes, you're in business.
Whitehurst will check in for Kinsella.
And here comes the pressure. Tied it up. That'll stay with Pine Forest. So the Eagles are doing exactly what they needed to do here at the start of the fourth quarter. They scored, got a couple of baskets to get close, and now they're applying some defensive pressure. And watching it pay off. That ball deflected, but it stays with Pine Forest, and nope, come back to Gulf Breeze. Bloomberg, he'll take it.
Oh.
And Smith kept it alive to Smith, and Bloomberg missed the layup. Wow. Great opportunity, and then almost committing the foul is Maurice Smith, but they let him play. And a timeout called by Pine Forest, 5:39. This will be a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here. 5:39 to play. It's now a 13-point game. Boy, Bloomberg,
wow.
That's not a layup under duress. That's one that should go, and that could be, that's a real momentum swing right there.
Yeah, that's exactly what the doctor ordered. It did not happen for Bloomberg, but you see Gulf Breeze, I mean, that pressure. Pine Forest is a completely different team that we've seen the entire game applying the pressure right now, having a great start to the fourth period. And for Gulf Breeze, I mean, what do? You've got to find ways to get easy baskets. They had an opportunity, they didn't take advantage of it.
Pine Forest scored the first 5 points of the game, and going into this game, shorthanded Gulf Breeze, we said, man, we just hope we don't have to pull out, some of the stories of our youth for the second half. But man, Gulf Breeze has put on quite a show, quite an effort. Now they're trying to maintain control of this ball game here in the fourth quarter. In the early going, there's a long way to go. 5:39. That's Wilson, and that's Whitehurst. He can shoot it. Kenny Cotton would rather not. Down low, nicely done. Nigel McCracken He scores, and they scored the first 8 points of the fourth quarter. Have the Eagles. Maurice Smith gets it ahead to Deemer. Back out to Maurice Smith, and Pine Forest is back. It was tough for a second. They're backing into a zone, but not as a man-to-man. That ball knocked away nicely by Whitehurst, out of bounds. It'll stay with Gulf Breeze. Josh Whitehurst, sophomore, 5'10" sophomore. He's a good-looking ball player. Inbound. Boy, I'm surprised they had Maurice Smith taking it inbounds. But the freshman's starting to look like he belongs a little bit, doesn't he?
About to say the exact same thing.
And backdoor pass to Bloomberg, deflected out of bounds. It went off Bloomberg and out of bounds. And it'll stay with go to Pine Forest in an 11-point game. Just under 5 minutes to play. Palmore is going to check into the ball game for Pine Forest. Next dead ball. Ryan McCants wants his team to pick things up offensively a little bit. Back out front to Wilson. And Whiter's long three.
Here they come.
Yep, 4:39 to play. Pine Forest, here's another turnover. Three-pointer. But pounding the boards and scoring. That is Turner. It's a 6-point ball game, and Gulf Breeze takes a timeout. We'll take it with them. 4:20 to play. Pine Forest has come from 19 down. They trail by 6 with 4:20 to play. We've got a ball game.
You're watching Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram High School Hoops, presented by New South Window Solutions.
Well, we started the fourth quarter. It was 50-31. Gulf Breeze led by 19. Pine Forest has gone on a 13-0 run in the first 3:40 of the fourth quarter. They finally got a three-pointer to go, and the defensive pressure is paying off. Nick Deemer will key the inbound pass for Gulf Breeze, who is yet to score here in the fourth quarter. Maurice Smith, the freshman, handling it against Kenny Cotton, trying to force the turnover. Cotton, a defensive specialist. Well, that's Bloomberg to Maurice Smith again. Smith hands it off. They go into a little bit of a weave, but then they lose the handle. Alternate possession. It'll stay with Gulf Breeze, but now Pine Forest has the arrow next time they tie him up. 4 minutes to go. Maurice Smith comes out, replaced by Harvey. Preston Harvey, number 12, comes in. He's got 4 fouls, but it's more veteran lineup now. If you can say that with Gulf Breeze, who's primarily a young team. Bloomberg. Back to Harvey. Off-balance shot. That's not the shot they wanted. And a foul in the backcourt. That's what they wanted even less. Foul is on Nick Deemer. That's you can see the faces at Gulf Breeze. You know, they have seen what has slipped away. Now they're trying to preserve what's left of this lead. What was a 19-point lead, now 6. Free throw line. Marion Turner, who has turned it up here in the fourth quarter. It is a 5-point game. Last time Pine Forest was this close, it was 34-29 early in the third quarter.
And Turner's got 8 in the game, all these first few minutes in the fourth period.
Yeah. Good free throw shooter, hits them both. It's now a 15-0 run to start the fourth quarter for Pine Forest, and they've done it in just over 4 minutes, 4:15. And Pine Forest takes the 30-second timeout, so we can stay right here for you and show you the Pine Forest will travel to Washington on Thursday, 7:30 tip-off there. And then Friday night, a big night at Pine Forest. Pine Forest hosts Florida High, FSU High School. That's a girls-boys doubleheader. Both girls teams are ranked in the top 5 in the state. Both FSU teams were ranked number 3 in the state in Class 3A. both the boys and girls teams from FSU. They've slipped a little bit since then. Of course, Pine Forest girls have been top 5 all year long. And so the girls game will be a phenomenal game. And then the boys game, this Pine Forest team will take on a ranked team as well. That's Friday night at Pine Forest. Gulf Breeze has Choctaw here on tomorrow night. Gulf Breeze played Choctaw to a 2-point game last time they met. Ball turned over. Wilson comes up with it. They'll tie it up, but that's going to go to Pine Forest. Losing the ball was Harvey, and Wilson forces the turnover. So another turnover by Gulf Breeze. They have had turnovers and bad shots here in the fourth quarter.
Yes, completely different team. And same thing could be said for Pine Forest. This is a completely different team the first 3 periods we saw.
4-point game, 3.5 to go. That's Wilson. That is Whitehurst. In and out for 3. Rebound. Jackson comes up with it. See what they do. See if they can hang on to the ball down here. There's Harvey. And he gets a bounce. Well, they needed that one. Yeah, that was off the back iron, which doesn't usually happen. 52-46, 6-point game. It took them nearly 5 minutes. Kicked the kicking violation. That'll stay with Pine Forest.
Boy, what a big basket that was.
That was a huge basket. Yes, it was.
They needed something. That's their first points in the fourth.
It was a 15-0 Pine Forest run to start the fourth quarter until that basket. Wilson, not usually much of a threat shooting at Palmore. Number 23 is. Careful, that ball was deflected out of bounds. I think Harvey got a hand on it, although Jackson says, I don't think so, but Harvey's not complaining. Well, Marion Turner, number 1, will key it in. Kenny Cotton comes out of the lineup, and Ozell Purifoy, number 5, comes in, and he will inbound it. To Whitehurst. Well, he had a look at the 3 that time. This time he'll pull up. The rebound comes down to Bloomberg. To Deemer. Almost knocked loose. Smith has it blocked out of bounds. I guess you want to play your offense. I don't know why you need that shot. I really don't.
You saw Smith kind of just shrug like, all right.
All right, well, that's what they do. I guess you figure, if they're putting enough pressure that the next 10 seconds are going to be miserable, you might as well play the offense. But, here comes Pine Forest off the long rebound. Purifoy has a knock loose, and Gulf Breeze comes out of there with it. Harvey into the front court. Into the corner, that's out of bounds. I tell you, I'm not sure I'd be pushing it quite like this.
Nope. Especially after what just happened.
Yeah, that's 2. 2 in a row. 6-point game. Down the lane goes Wilson. Blocked by Deemer. Saved by Turner and deflected out of bounds by Weston Smith. And now that's a bad sign for Pine Forest as Wilson limps off. Wow, so Patterson already off with an injury, and now another point guard goes off. And Wilson's the guy who really runs the show defensively and setting things up. So now Ozell Purifoy with Whitehurst in.
Ward checked in.
Ward can shoot it. So can number 21 right there, Whitehurst. He launches the 3. And the rebound, I tell you what, Gulf Breeze for everything else done a heck of a job on the defensive boards, and Bloomberg converts at the other end. And just like that, it's an 8-point game with under 2 minutes to go. Purifoy, no. Loose ball, knocked out of bounds, off Gulf Breeze. And there, Weston Smith did a nice job of keeping the ball out of, I believe, Purifoy's hands. Inbounds, and Palmore on the inbound play gets a quick basket. And boy, Pine Forest needed that. 6-point game again, full court pressure. Weston Smith ahead. Jackson. Pine Forest comes out with a minute and a half to go. And they'll get a layup at the other end. Purifoy with the basket. It's a 4-point game. Foul in the backcourt. Smith has been screaming for a foul a few times, but if you're going to force the shot at one end, you're not going to get that call.
No, you're not.
And both Dominic Jackson and Weston Smith have put up some shots that with a 6-point lead in this kind of game, I'm not sure you'd probably not just rather back it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're not going to get those calls in that situation. It just doesn't happen. Ball deflected out of bounds. It'll stay with Gulf Breeze. 1:10 to play. It's a 6-point Gulf Breeze lead. I would be stunned if they get a shot off quickly.
It may be your doom if you do that.
I
mean, hey, what crazier things have happened.
Inbound it to Bloomberg, who will try to back it out. Pressure from Purifoy. Bloomberg will give it to Harvey, who fumbles it. And he calls timeout. 1 minute to play. Timeout, Gulf Breeze. Desperately trying to hang on to a 4-point lead. It has been a monumental effort to stay in the game. It was a stunning effort to lead by 19, and now it's a desperate effort to try to hang on here in the final 60 seconds.
And hang on, that's exactly what you're seeing for Gulf Breeze right now. I still go back and wonder, why in the world do you press the issue when you're up like that with a couple shots? I'm sure Coach Ottensmeyer is going to be talking about the same thing, but you know what? It's when you got a Cadillac, you want to go out there and you want to show it off, huh? So I don't know. That's all I can think of.
Ty McCants has got to love what he's seen in his team here in the early fourth quarter.
Absolutely.
Now he's trying to get him to finish. He needs someone to make a shot. They've had Whitehurst hit some and then had some looks that didn't go. It seems their offense coming inside with Turner but they need a couple of possessions, a couple of baskets.
Yeah, we talked about it going into the fourth period. It was a quiet night for a lot of Eagles, and boy, one of them was Marion Turner coming in with 0 points, and he's had a heck of a fourth period with 9 points.
All right, so Gulf Breeze will inbound it. 1 minute to go as they inbound it. Looking for Bloomberg, now having some trouble getting it in. There you go on the inbounds pass, gets it in, and Smith is fouled. And again, the other element to Gulf Breeze is it's Weston Smith fouled by Purifoy, and that is the 6th team foul. So Gulf Breeze will inbound it again. If they do go to the line, remember Gulf Breeze has not been a very good free throw shooting team. Bloomberg, that ball is going to be stolen by Palmore, and he'll take it blocked but followed in by Turner. 48 seconds to go, and Pine Forest calls timeout. Off the steal, Turner follows for his 11th point, and it's a 54-52 ball game. Pine Forest hasn't been this close since it was 7-5.
This is wild. Just looking at this game, the way it's turned out, and you look at Gulf Breeze. I tell you what, right there, when you saw Reese Bloomberg kind of just tuck it in, fixing to get trapped, you cannot wait around. Pine Forest has been relentless. You cannot give enough credit to the Eagles in this fourth period.
Well, they have. They've applied the pressure, and Gulf Breeze, it looks like maybe a little tentative. You're not meeting. It's one thing to back things out, but then you still have to stay aggressive in moving the ball and going to meet passes and that sort of thing. But Pine Forest has been, this is the way they want to play. This is the way they want to play for 32 minutes, and it's finally paying off for them in the fourth quarter. So you're seeing how good this Pine Forest team can be when they apply that kind of pressure. But there have been some really questionable possessions by Gulf Breeze, some shots I think they probably, when they look back, say, that's probably not the shot we wanted to take in the fourth quarter game situation. So 48.4 seconds to go. Gulf Breeze with the ball, and the lead is down to 2 after they led by 19 at the start of the fourth quarter. It is a 21-4 fourth quarter for Pine Forest. Okay, the full court pressure. We knew that was coming, and here the trap comes. You can't stop the dribble, and Gulf Breeze lucky to get that one back as Palmore almost came up with the steal, then knocked it out of bounds. I tell you, Deshaun Palmore's come up with some huge plays. Yes. He's a scorer, but he's done some really nice things defensively as well.
Yes, he has, Mr. Johnny on the spot on defense and offensive side of the ball.
There's a foul on the inbound, or it is a holding foul probably on Turner, I believe. Nope. It is. Marion Turner was with a hold on the cutter, grabbed the back of his jersey, and so going to the line is Dominic Jackson. And we've told you about his woes at the free throw line this year, 55%.
Turner's got 4 fouls, by the way.
Front end of a 1-and-1 does not go. Runner doesn't go. Rebound controlled by Turner. Gives it off to Ward. That spins out. Wow. Whitehurst. Follow. What a battle. What a war. And they'll tie it up.
It's the Dolphins' ball.
And Ty McCants just has a wry smile on the Pine Forest bench. He doesn't know what he has to do to buy a basket. I tell you, Pine Forest has not had any breaks. There have been 3 or 4 that looked like they were half to 3/4 of the way down. 21 seconds to go, the full court pressure. They get it. They do not get it inbound. Stolen by Turner.
Holy cow.
Picked up by Gulf Breeze and timeout. Gulf Breeze, 13 seconds to go of a tie game. Marion Turner with the steal and his 13th point. Gulf Breeze barely got the ball into the front court. Let's take a look at the Peden replay. Watch Turner play that. Knocks it down, controls. That's a play of the game for sure. And if Pine Forest pulls this out, that's your player of the game. Because he has been the fourth quarter for Pine Forest. So Ty McCants now has got his team even for the first time since the 5:26 mark of the first quarter when it was 5-5. Gulf Breeze was in the midst of an 11-0 run. They took the lead at that point. They've led throughout. And now Ryan Ottensmeyer drawing an inbounds play. Hoping to clear. Probably. Well, I tell you what, I'm sure Ty McCants is saying 33 is not going to get a good look.
No. No way.
So where else do you go if that's not available if you're Gulf Breeze?
Well, for Pine Forest, this went from trying to foul them to, well, now you got an opportunity to win this ball game. Boy, this has been interesting. I mean, we talked about it. If you missed it, beginning of the game for Gulf Breeze, obviously missing 5 varsity players, had to call up a couple JV guys. They played some great minutes, but boy, that depth and that defense, that suffocating full court defense for Pine Forest has been the difference here in the fourth period.
Gulf Breeze with 6 regular varsity players suited up tonight. The contact tracing restrictions this year, and they brought up 2 JV players just to have 8. 2 players making their varsity debuts just so Gulf Breeze would have 8. And they have to face this juggernaut from Pine Forest, who really puts the pressure on defensively. All right, Gulf Breeze inbounding. Looking to get it back to Wilbur. That ball is off the mark. Rebound comes down. Loose ball. Pine Forest, 4 seconds. They got a chance to win it. Pine Forest comes back and wins it at the buzzer.
Wow.
What a scene at the Pine Forest end of the court. You talk about a kind of a win. It's not, it's not one of your artistic masterpieces as far as a performance is concerned, but boy, the guts they showed to battle back into this game. Let's take a look at this on the Peden. Here's a steal by Purifoy. Lays it off to Whitehurst. Whitehurst gets the basket to win it. 56-54, Pine Forest with a 25-4 fourth quarter. Stuns Gulf Breeze after the Dolphins had stunned Pine Forest all night. Wow, what a finish, what a ball game here at Gulf Breeze. We will be back. The post-game show, present a trophy to Pine Forest. We're going to let them catch their breath. And we'll be back for the post-game show here on Hill Kelly High School Hoops.
Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram High School Hoops, presented by New South Window Solutions.
What a ball game we've had here tonight at Gulf Breeze High School at the Tank. It was a stunner for most of the night as Gulf Breeze, playing a bit shorthanded, played really well, opened a 19-point lead, and then what a fourth quarter we saw from Pine Forest. Ty McCants joins us now, head coach of the Pine Forest Eagles. And Coach, when we were talking yesterday, you said would kind of turn this season around. The fulcrum of this season was your commitment to defense. And what a fourth quarter and what a defensive fourth quarter. I guess this is an easy teaching lesson for you.
Yeah, it is. We hang our hat on defense, so we knew we were never out of it. We just had to get back to us, and that's playing tough defense, getting stops, and getting transition layups.
You didn't have much go right for you, and we saw 2 or 3 shots that looked like they were halfway down and came out and spun out. And at one point, I think you even had a wry smile in the fourth quarter, like that's the way it's going to go. But did you get any sense on the bench that anyone felt like this wasn't your night?
No, I'll say my guys know how to fight. We had tons of close games early this season, so we're no stranger to being down and coming back. There was no quitting the guys, One huddle, I let them have it. I said, you guys talk to each other. And after that huddle, they came out and really turned it around. So we never quit. We always keep fighting, and we just, the game isn't over until it says 0-0.
We had 2 teams really fighting tonight. I mean, your team obviously had so much adversity and had to come from 19 down in the fourth quarter. Gulf Breeze obviously dealing with what they've dealt with their short roster, and a couple of kids making their varsity debuts tonight played really, really well. So, I mean, this was about as good as it gets when you're talking about high school basketball and 2 teams showing some character and competitive toughness out there.
Right. We've had some battles last year. And you see transferred over to this year. Yeah, they play very hard. They can shoot the ball very well. They're very disciplined, and they're a scrappy team, and we respect them a lot when we come here. We know we got to come with our A game every time we play Gulf Breeze.
Well, we had, a wide assortment of players contribute at different stretches, but when when you guys made your run in the fourth quarter, it was astounding. Marion Turner hadn't scored until the fourth quarter. Then he had 13 in the fourth quarter, including that phenomenal steal on the inbounds pass. Kind of got you started in the fourth quarter, and what Marion means to this team and what he meant tonight.
He's our leader by example. And it was crazy enough tonight. He actually was vocal tonight. That last huddle we had when I let the kids kind of talk to each other, he was the main leader in that huddle. He was the main one talking. And he came out and showed why he is the leader of this team and why he did score 13 in the fourth quarter, because that's what he's capable of. He played hard. He really he helped us out a lot in the fourth, and I'm just proud of him for that.
What does this kind of win do for you? I mean, you come in to Gulf Breeze, get a win, but the way you pulled this thing out and the way you stuck with it, what does it do for you going forward as you start looking ahead to postseason?
It's a learning lesson. Let's not let this happen in the postseason. Let's not let this in the district tournament in the semifinals this year. That was a tough hill to climb. It was tough sledding, but we came back. But we don't want to do that. We don't want to make a habit of that.
A couple of your players got hurt tonight. I know Patterson went off. Do you have any word on them at all?
Not yet. I'll get talk to the trainer in a minute and see what she says. But yeah, a couple guys went down. We'll check on that after the game. I'm really concerned, so I'll take a look at them in a minute.
Well, we certainly wish them well, and congratulations. And Devin has a trophy for you. That's the hardest earned Hill Kelly High School Hoops victory trophy that we've ever awarded to the Pine Forest Eagles, who came from 19 down in the fourth quarter to beat Gulf Breeze 56-54. Coach Ty McCants, congratulations on a thoroughly entertaining win. Entertaining for us, probably not for you, but congratulations.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
All righty. Ty McCants and the Pine Forest Eagles coming away with that's the best.
That's awesome.
Fourth quarter performance we've seen from a team in the 6 years we've done this.
Yeah, it really is. And you saw who this team is, like Coach McCants said, in the fourth period. That's who they are. But he wants them to play that way for 4 different periods. And you see our player of the game by Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Marion Turner, 13 points in the game, all in the fourth quarter. My goodness, this has been a special one.
Very good. Well, for Jeff Price, all of us here at WFGX and Channel 3 Sports, we hope you've enjoyed the broadcast. It was a beauty. Pine Forest comes from 19 down to beat Gulf Breeze 56-54. We'll be back at it Friday night from Pace as the Pace Patriots host Navarre. We'll see you then. For all of us here, thanks for joining us. Good night, everyone.
I know the things they can't know, but listen, but in my position. You gotta go take yours on a mission. Where every decision is like with a great goal. And I ain't gon' let it go back to me, dog. Now picture me fall to the wayside where I can't slide to the point where they really in my face. I'm not looking for sympathy or empathy in my frenzy.